Hey, blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon blessings to you, each and every one of you. Welcome to the Love Walk Approach podcast. Today is the day where we gather and walk and talk. And so you're going to see me standing up today for a little bit, maybe depending on how my body's feeling. I may end up sitting down at some point, but it's all good. We're going to walk it out as much as possible. So, love walkers who are already aware, go ahead and make sure you got your little shoes on so you can take you some steps so we can usher in uh, some joy, some peace, something, encouragement into this space in this day and time. I am going to be chatting with a dear friend of mine today. So, go ahead and start yourself the walk and the ride. All right. Um, Go ahead and invite some people over. Let's do that for a second. Blessings, Destiny. Love Walker. Destiny is in the building. Thank you for being present, Destiny. If you are here, go ahead and say hello, do some greetings. Um, so I can say hello to you as well. Today, kind of what we're doing, and I think it's easier to just be kind of like to let you know what's going on as we're doing it. So for those of you who are present today who were showing up tomorrow, if you are in Treasure's Arc of Love, then you ran into the snafu yesterday as well. When I changed the date for the Love Walk to today, I changed on YouTube, went to change it inside our group, but the change didn't take. So there were some of you who showed up yesterday ready for the Love Walk gathering and conversation, but we're going to do it on the Sunday of until we start meeting live for the walks, and then we'll arrange the dates around that. All right. But for now, we're gonna have it the every 3 month mark, the quarter mark, and we'll be on here, and you get to see your girl picking them up and putting them down a little bit. All right, as we have this conversation with someone in the love walking community. That means someone who has understanding of the fact that this is our greatest command, and no matter how tough it gets to walk it out, we're here to do our best to walk it out. And today, my dear friend, Dr. Marilyn E. Porter, Apostle, Doctor, all of them wonderful things. She's going to be chatting with me today. But go ahead, let's go ahead and share this out for a few minutes. And as we do, let's go ahead and start getting myself in gear, doing the walking here. For those of you who are here, as you are clicking that share button, if you are walking with me today, I just want you to close your eyes for just a second. Do your walking. You may be outside walking in the sunshine. You may be in a mall. You may be on a strip somewhere and you are just getting your steps in. Blessings upon blessings. Good afternoon to you. Blessings upon jump within me. Yes. Blessings upon blessings. Come on in. Do share. Close your eyes for a second if you're able to hold your balance and close your eyes at the same time. Stretch your arms out if you're not able to. Get yourself some balance. And I just want you to think about the balance. The new balance of life. New balance of life. That's where we're headed. We're headed into our new balance of life. Why? Because most of the people who are here are trying to figure out what that balance is, right? We're trying to figure out, how do I navigate this terrain of life, this terrain of parenthood, right? Entrepreneurship, working my career, going to school, being a spouse, a lover, a partner, and being a friend. Yes, yes. Today we're going to talk about friends. How many of us have them? Friends. We're going to talk about friendship today and how friendship fits in with this love walk. I want you to take into consideration Proverbs 17 and 17 as we chat today. I had another dear friend that was going to meet today. Do pray for him and Allergy season is doing us right, but you'll find out. Even with me and Dr. Marilyn, we're going to be talking and trying to get it together. Ooh, to have a friend, you must show yourself friendly. Absolutely. A friend is that one that is there in the times of trial, tribulation. A brother is born for the day of adversity. And so we want you to go ahead and tap into that right now, even before we start this conversation. Y'all know we talk about the wisdom of the sacred text. The scriptures is what we grew up on. The Bible is what I grew up on. So those are the sacred texts that I'm most familiar with. I will share with you sometimes other texts that echoes and amens the message of Christ Yahshua. But we are talking about friendship today. So Proverbs 17:17. Get it in you today. Get it in you today. Share one more time, and we are going to get into the conversation. But before we do, as we walk, before I sit down for just a few minutes to have this conversation, I want you to repeat after me. I am a friend. And walk it out. I am a friend. And walk it out. I am a true friend indeed. And walk it out. I am a brother, a sister for times of adversity. And walk it out. I am a brother, a sister for the time of adversity. Now walk it out. I am a friend. Now listen, we're gonna talk about friendship. We're gonna talk about little siblinghood, brotherhood, sisterhood. But there's also a verse that tells us that a friend sticks closer than a brother. So a friend has a little extra duties in this thing, all right? So we're gonna talk about that today. But I want you to declare it. I am a friend. I am a brother, sister for the time of adversity. And I want you to mean it. We're not faking it till we're making it. We're just being transformed by the renewing of our minds and the healing of our entire soul so that we're able to see through the eyes of love itself, the great I am, awakening on the inside of each and every one of us as modeled and embodied by Christ Yahshua and many of the luminaries who have Mother Teresa, even Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, Buddha, some of these folks that that we're not all very familiar with, but they had a message of how to bring this life together into oneness. And this was the assignment of Christ Yahshua in the earth, to bring us back to a consciousness of oneness and to be reminded that I and the Father are one. For greater is he that's within me than he that's in the world. For the kingdom of God, the residence of God is within. Y'all get the picture. So let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Yahshua, who thought it not robbery to count himself as equal with God. He was not saying that he was the end all be all. He was saying that we are a part of something greater than ourselves. We are the unique expression of the great I am. And so therefore I must learn how to be a friend, how to be a sister. That though the kingdom of God is within me, it doesn't mean that I'm here to do this walk alone. I'm here to cleanse my soul. Everything about the sacred scriptures was about heart work. Once that new covenant came in, it was all about circumcision of the heart. Are y'all here with me today? We are here to love. We are here to definitely do the inner work, to cleanse our kingdom streets. But that's so we can show up in the world as strength for others, being there in times where it seems like the whole world is crumbling over and crumbling down. But a friend also knows when they must just stand and watch, observe, pray, when there's nothing they can do. Even if they put their hand inside of the mix, it's not going to come back out well. So a friend knows how and when and where. And they understand that there are times where they'll be accessible to me times where I understand them. There will be times when I do not. There will be times when I have to allow my strength to be their very strength for their time of weakness, and time where I have to be able to accept them to do the same for me. Y'all come on. I know y'all hear my win. I mean, I'm really walking. Don't know how my body gonna feel after this, but we doing it. All right, all right. Share one more time. Yes. Try to take a deep breath in or breathe evenly as you are getting your steps in. And one more time, what you're doing in this moment is saying, I don't know if I even know how to be a full friend. Do I know how to be a brother or a sister? And if I do not, oh great I am, whatever it is that you want to say to me today, let it be spoken and let it be received. It is so and so it is. Woo! I'm going to get you in a few more. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. Hey, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. Hey, now get your little jig in. We are going to take a breather. When we get ready to end this today, we will get back into a little bit more of a walk zone. Blessings, blessings, blessings to each and every one of you. Guess what we're about to do? We're about to pull our homegirl from out of this back space here, and we are going to have a conversation. Are you ready? We're going to breathe first. Take a deep breath in. If you were walking at all, consciously take those breaths. Speak to that heart of yours. Tell it to settle. Bring yourself back to a place of peace. Today, we are here to grow, to gain. We are here to receive, to embody. And we are here to be strengthened. So that she can help us to be encouraged today. For those who do not know this friend of mine, then you're probably just joining up with me, right? You're probably just now communicating. This is your first time or something, because if you have been following me for any length of time, then you know this person, you know this space, you know this energy, you know how we rock. You know the dynamics of our energy and the balance that we have for each other as friends, as sisters. But yesterday we were having a conversation, and I asked her the question, why are you still friends with me? Why do you remain friends with me? And I asked that question from the perspective of knowing thyself, right? Knowing the highs, the lows, the neurodivergent things I have to deal with, the mood swings, the impact, all the stuff she pretty much knows. And I was looking through our exchanges in Messenger today to find a picture. I was like, I'm going to do a quick flyer, and I was trying to put a flyer together. And I was trying to find a picture of us together. And I started looking through all of the memories in our Messenger chat over the years. And I'm like, man, we haven't gone through pretty much a whole lot in this past 13, 14, 15 years. I think she might know the time better than me. But the highs, the lows, the tears, the breakdowns, the uncertainties, all of that. And when you know yourself, and when you're real honest with yourself, and you're doing this self-work, this love work, this circumcision of the heart, then you know who you are, right? So you know the things that a friend would be, I don't want to say put up with or tolerating or whatever, but I will say a friend, a sister friend, a brother friend, whatever, that is truly connected to you, all of those, and yet they still remain. They know what you say and the things you don't, right? And then they still remain. We do know that some of those type of relationships are seasonal, some are permanent. This has been real permanent for me, and so she knows my vulnerabilities, and so she's here. And we're about to let her in. Hey girl, hey girl, hey. Uh-oh. Oh, let me stop pressing the thing. All right, there you go.
Hey.
Hey girl, hey girl.
Hello, hello, hello to the people.
Dr. M.E. Porter. There are so many other titles that go along with that, and we're probably going to touch on some of that today, because not only are we friends, but we are leaders who are friends. We are spiritual teachers, leaders, that are friends. We know what it is to be in this community of people. We know the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows of it all, right? And we done seen some things. We done chatted about some things. As a matter of fact, before we even got on here, I gave you the disclaimer for me. I'm like, this is where I'm at today. This is how I'm feeling. This is what it is. And I think it's important for me to lead with, and I'm going to go ahead and let you into this part of the conversation. But um, I gave you a disclaimer, right? Not because I felt like you really just needed one for me, because if I called you on a random, I wouldn't have had to give a disclaimer, right? It would be the check in. But because we are live today, because we are on this podcast and we are sharing, and I'm here to be super transparent today, because I see years of me that maybe you may never say. But I gave the disclaimer to say, this is where I am. This is what I'm probably going to need from you. This is the way this is going to go. For the sake of understanding what this conversation may turn into today. You know, what it means to be a friend to someone with bipolar disorder, right? What it means to be a friend to someone who is neurodivergent, seriously on a whole nother level, right? Because we have, you know, some things in common, but you've seen, you know, again, parts of me that's like most people would be like, girl, child, when you done, let me know. But you be holding the phone like, it's okay. It's okay. That's what I'm here for. All right. So introduce yourself a little bit, say a little bit more than what I've said, but also tap into that idea. Let's go get the
So um the concept of introducing myself is always strange to me. Um it's always a strange concept to me because right now in this moment, um I'm I'm who I'm supposed to be in this moment. And right in this particular moment, I'm a woman who has been called upon to show support and love in this space. And so right now that's who I am. And so none of the other stuff, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but none of the other things take precedence over that. Notice it just says Marilyn E. Porter. It doesn't say doctor. It doesn't say apostle. It just says Marilyn E. Porter. Because right now in this moment, that's who needs to show up. So right now, that's who I am. I'm Marilyn E. Porter, a woman who knows a lot of things about a lot of things and who does a lot of things when necessary. But right now, in this moment, I have been called upon to be Jonathan. And so right now, that's who I am. Simply
that
put.
that. Um, you know, I vibes with that. I vibes with that. You know, whatever treasure you're looking for, we all here, right? We show up as who we need to be in every given moment. So that is an echo. Amen. So she said the words, I am here to be a Jonathan. So let's go ahead and dive into that. and what that means in the concept of this grand scheme of things, right? We're here to talk love walking, right? We
Mhm.
know that God is love, and if you do not have love, then you do not know God, and that doesn't exist. It means that you have not fully realized God as love. You haven't fully realized God as all things, because when we do, we understand that all the pieces fit, all the personalities fit, all the ideas fit, and we do understand that we play a role. We play a role in everybody's world at some time or another. Now, as a friend, I may need Dr. Porter. As a friend, I may need Apostle. As a friend, I may need the prophet in her, and we have done all of those things, right? But when she says today, I'm showing up as Jonathan, Marilyn, go ahead and dive into that real quick.
So from the perspective of scripture, so let me say this: when I submitted fully, when I surrendered um, my whole heart to God, not just from the perspective of having grown up in the church or what my mom and them believed. When I decided that I was going to have a relationship with God that was autonomous of anything anybody else had shown me, taught me, or any of that, the very first thing that Holy Spirit taught me was how to be a friend. Very first lesson I ever had, just me and the Holy Spirit, was how to be a friend. And he used Jonathan and David. It's the very first Bible study that I ever taught at Bowling Air Force Base, at the Gospel Chapel, to the PWOC, the Protestant Women of the Chapel. It's the very first lesson I ever had as a minister of the gospel, was to teach a Bible study on friendship. So that told me right there out the gate that it was important to God, that friendship is at the heart of God. I knew that in 1997 because that was the very first lesson that he said, I want you to go into the scripture and I want you to read this and I want you to teach it to others. And so friendship, um, one that one being me, might say is it's right up there with marriage because it's covenant. It's
Mm-hmm.
covenant. It's covenant. And so for me, and I'm going to say me, you can argue in the comments because I'm talking about me and you can't argue with me about me. But
Right.
for me, the only difference between my really, really good friend and my spouse is that I have physical sexual intimacy with my spouse,
Right.
not with my really good friend. That's the only difference for me. It is
Right.
covenant and it is at the core of God's heart. And so Jonathan and David, that story can be found in First and Second Samuel. I'm not gonna I believe in just kind of letting you go seek that out for yourself, because I never ever want anybody who's listening to me to take what I have to say at face value. Go check it out for yourself. So First and Second Samuel, you're gonna find the story of Jonathan and David's friendship, but it is a covenant bond. It is a covenant bond. It is forged in fire and in blood and in tears and in loyalty. Um, it sometimes in fear. Um, so in street terms, because I'm a Jersey girl, so in street terms, I like to say that my covenant friendships are my shovel friends. They're the people that I'm gonna call if I gotta go bury a dead body, because I know they ain't never gonna tell. Those are my shovel friends. Like, hey girl, get the shovel out. We got some business to take care of, and it will never be mentioned again, not in the earth realm. And I know this, and that's covenant. Um, the same way a wife or a husband by law do not have to get on the stand and testify against their spouse. That's the same way I hold friendship. If I got to tell on my friend, now, God, you know we was wrong. Now, Lord, you know we was wrong. And I'm going to confess it to
Y'all
you.
might talk about
I
it. Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
confess it to
yeah.
nobody else, Jesus. We is finna go, we finna stand at the gate and have to and have to cry in your face and beg to get in for this one. Cause I ain't telling a soul except you, God. You know, it really is covenant. And and so I hold it very dearly, number one, because it's the first thing that the Lord taught me. The first thing He showed me, the first thing I taught God's people was that friendship is indeed covenant. Now, when you get married, you say, the marriage vows will say, forsaking all others. Well, I don't know if y'all know this, but Jonathan was the king's son. His daddy Saul was the king. And Jonathan said, I know you, my daddy.
My gosh.
I know my loyalty should be to the throne, but David is my friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I gotta rock with him.
Yeah.
I gotta rock with him because how many of y'all know that parent-child relationship ain't always covenant, but your
My
friend?
gosh.
So it's that serious. It's that serious. And I'm not one to use the word friend a lot. As a matter of fact, I have offended people because they want to be my friend, but you haven't shown yourself to be a friend. So I can't call you that yet. We ain't been through no fires. We ain't braved no storms. I ain't never felt comfortable enough to cry on you or to tell you my deepest, darkest thought, as dark as it may be. I ain't never had a conversation with you that make you question the very faith that I stand on. Right?
Uh,
You ain't been through that yet. So I can't call you my friend, and it may not even be your fault that we're not friends. So I'm gonna say blame it on my father because he knows who can withstand my life. So it's not your fault
ooh, ooh,
that we
ooh,
ain't been through. He
ooh.
just knows you ain't ready for it or you couldn't stand it. He just knows that you ain't gonna be the cupbearer for me. Because how many of you know your friend is gonna be your cupbearer? Your friend is gonna say, if you are the one who's on deck today, I'm gonna drink the cup. Because you can't die today. You got to carry out the mission. If the cup is poison, I'll drink it. Because you got to carry out the mission today. So you asked me a question.
You take it all the way in.
And that's my answer. And I'm sticking to it.
Okay, 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 okay. Charles, listen. She on here sniffling. You could have been on here with your allergies too, because this conversation is listen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. All right. Yeah, okay. So I gotta swallow real quick, y'all, because those who walk with me, those who have ever been on team with me, been close to me anyway, you already know that I don't get to have many friends. I don't get to have many friends. So she touched on something that was really important when she spoke about, knowing, like blame it on my father because he knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I am. Friendship is an assignment. All right. Friendship is an assignment. And Nadia, hey Nadia, boo. Nadia posted, and she said, she done shouted you out, Apostle. Friendship is a bond, not casual, convenient, or seasonal, serious business. Now, I will say that this is part. Go ahead and dig in a little seasonal part of things before forward in the rest of the conversation so that it flows. Because friendship is an assignment, there are seasonal friends. All right. Now, when I say seasonal friends, some of them same people that though we were in a season together, right now today, if I call their phone or if I have to, if I need them to pop up, they still popping up, still rolling up. All right. So our particular season was limited to this is how we interacted all the time. I mean, we hooking up, we probably hanging out, we having phone conversations, we doing video chats, whatever the case might be. But then there also may come a time in certain friendships where that season has ended, where we are like, like this. But the heart of a true friend doesn't ever change. So let me preface it like that. So seasonal in the sense of how much we are connected and interactive and all that. Not seasonal, all right. Even if a person get into it with a true friend, if y'all have words, y'all have a blowout, whatever the case might be, I'm gonna give it to you in a second. What even if it's a blowout, something happens and y'all have to sever ties. There is something about that person that you always remember, hold dear, because you understand that they were intended to be a true friend in that season. It is important to understand that not every person that you've ever called friend, not every one of them, most of them will still be in some connection, but not every person that you have ever called friend, does that mean that they have to stay locked in as far as your everyday life activities on a regular basis. Now, let's go ahead and dive. Go ahead, Dr. Porter. Marilyn, let's do it.
So I just want to say this when it comes to so I'm gonna just use the word time. I'm not gonna say season. I'm gonna say time. To those covenant relationships that are governed by time, they come with a vault.
Mhm.
Yeah, they come with a vault. And so what that means is just because we not talking, just because we not hanging out, just I might even feel away. But whatever happens in that covenant, it gets locked away forever. And you will never hear me say anything negative about anybody that I've been in covenant with.
Yeah.
Not even my ex-husbands, right?
Yeah.
You will
Yeah.
never hear me publicly bash them or even quietly bash them. So covenant friendships come with a vault. We can call it a tomb, though, like the one Jesus had laid in. We just celebrated.
Let it down.
We can call it a tomb, but it gets filed away with the key thrown away. And the only one who can unlock that is the one who you got that covenant with. So even in covenant relationships that are governed by time, it is still forever. It is still forever. It just goes into the vault, and the vault can't be breached.
That's it. That's
The
it.
only way you gonna breach that vault is you gonna have to legit lay me down, strap me down, give me some type of truth serum, put something on my head that can read my thoughts and watch it come up on a computer screen. It's never coming out of my mouth. You're never going to pick up a journal and read it, because I am going to protect, even when the time in the earthly realm has ended, I'm going to protect that covenant to death.
That right there is powerful. Yeah, that right there is powerful. Now, let me say, everybody has a different way of coping. I don't want everybody to think that Dr. Marilyn's way is the way that you're supposed to do it. But we understand that vote. Like, for instance, me, God, do you remember the years? I think you said yesterday it was probably about 14, 15, maybe 13, between 13, 14 years, right? We've been kicking it. We've been friends.
2014.
It's 2014. All right, so we in, good Lord, girl.
That's the year that Stevie did her thing. That's why I always remember it, because the name of her live was New Beginnings, something New Beginnings 2014. So I always remember the title of the thing that we met.
12, about almost 12, about 12. Well, we in there, right? So look, shooting that he talking about, go ahead and write the book. It should be called Don't Breathe. Look, don't breathe.
Wait a minute. I thought he wrote the book. I was like, what, brother? You wrote a book about it? Want to hear? Here you go.
He could write in about 30 minutes. In 30 minutes it'll be finished and then on production line. All right. So y'all. So here's I have all pretty much almost all. Not all my friends, but most of my friends are my bougie friends. All right. So these are the ones. These are the ones. I wish he was feeling better.
If
He
I
was on
was
here.
drinking, my pinky would be out.
I wish he was on here so I can mess with them right now. But nevertheless, he could just like you, like y'all. They are the bougiest, most productive minds I ever met in my life. And when I tell you, they get stuff done. So I'm gonna tap into that real quick. All right, good. I am a type of person, right? I'm gonna just leave it at that for a minute. Most of my friends operate totally different than me. We could put a mirror up to each other and say, okay, I see that. That's similar. That's how we connected. We connected somewhere at the compatibility. This is what drew us in. But once we start getting to know each other, I am probably pretty different, right? I mean, what is it? Bougie lax? I'm bougie lax. Me and Marilyn are bougie lax. I'm always lax for the most part. I'm flow all the time. You know, that's just the way it is for me because I don't really know how to function differently. Let's talk about some of the differences and how you see differences in friendships. You know, I talk about balance a lot, but let's hear the differences in friendships, how you make room for one that is so different in your world as a friend.
So I don't if I'm fully transparent,
You should be really transparent.
I don't know that I see you as
That's different.
different.
Yeah.
I just see you as you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think my brain doesn't work like that. My brain is like this. If I rock with you, that's it. Like whatever else whatever else goes on in there, I am the epitome of if you my friend, you can't do nothing wrong. So be who you are, say what you want, go where you want to go. If you step out of the bounds, your bounds, not mine. If you step out of bounds, I'll remind you like, hey, that ain't what you do. Come back over here. That ain't gonna feel good. But if you want to stay over there, hey, I rocks over there. I come over there with you for a little bit.
Right,
you know?
look.
So I don't know that that I see you as different. I just see like this is Shalonda. This is who Shalonda is. And you know, if I'm with this is who I'm gonna just say Keisha. This is who Keisha is. I don't because I am so opposite myself. Like I am so opposite, meaning I'm this and that. I'm up and down.
Yeah.
I'm back and forth. I'm so opposite just inside of myself. I think it allows me to see the beauty of someone who doesn't function just like me, but I get to function just like me with them.
With them. That's good. That's so good. And I think so that's a wonderful place to sit at because when I think about love, right? When I think about God, when I think about the allness of God, in love there is room for all of it. If it was not, it would not exist, right? So when I think about friendship, true friendship, I think about love. When I think about, you know, marriage, I think about love, right? In the sense of, man, I got to see all of you put up with everything about you. You got to put up with everything about me, right? All of that. Friendship is likened unto that. I think brotherhood, sisterhood, they're a little bit different in the sense that, you know, your brothers and sisters, they go their own way. They live their own life. They do their own thing. They got their own friends, their own whatever. They still use the friend. I think Nadia said it earlier, friendship equals choice. In other words, and it's the same thing with marriage, right? This is the choice that I've made. to be connected to this individual in this manner. They trust me in as far as we can trust humanity, I guess, right? Because we're all flawed, we all change, things shift. But I know, and I think I said this yesterday, I know that if I am in full blown crisis mode, right? If I'm in full, because we're going to talk a little bit about that. She says she doesn't see me as different, but she has gone through full blown crisis mode with me, full blown bipolar crisis mode with me. So has Charles, and even Nadia has too, as a matter of fact, talking team, but full blown crisis mode, and still, right? Still, I was the same person. And this is important to bring up because we don't really know. Most people don't know how to be friends because we don't even have a tolerance for anything that's not us, right? If it's not the way we do it, we don't even have a tolerance for certain things. And I think friendship makes room for that too. It understands, hey, this is how they operate, so I won't operate differently in their space. But when I am so far beyond the person that I desire to be, right? Because when I'm in crisis mode, both of y'all know, like I'm probably more angry with myself. Hey, Monica, I'm more angry with myself for being this person in this moment, as if it's not just a part of my whole full makeup. You have accepted me as this just being a part of what Shalonda may endure, and as her friend, this is what I'm doing, right? Like, and I remember conversations where I literally, because there's only let me say it like this. Because I've been in such vulnerable situations with the temptation to lock myself up and not make no phone call, right? But I know that if I make this phone call, I'm not going to feel embarrassed. I'm not going to feel judged. I'm not going to feel as if I'm just too much to bear. I'm not going to, you understand? If I mess up, if I forget something, if I do something that you know me so well till you know the intent of my heart. If it happens, yeah, she must be going through a thing because I know this about her heart. And I think this is where friendship for me comes in, because it's like, I don't expect you to be nobody different. I just know that you need to know that as you are going through this moment in your life, a part of what you go through, this is a part of me accepting you as friend. By knowing your dynamics and still being present anyway. And so we'll say sometimes when I'm talking to man, and I do a lot of thank yous. I give a lot of thank yous and I appreciate yous and all of that. But we have that conversation because I want them to know, one, I know that my dynamics are not the same as most of the people you deal with. Thank you for dealing with me. But as a friend, from her perspective, I don't need all that from you. We here.
This is where we at.
And you probably said it a few times, right? Charles he'll say sometimes, he'll be like, I can say this to you because you're my friend. And it's true, right? Like, there's certain things that you can say to them that you can't say to anybody else. Go ahead.
So this is what I was going to say. In terms of, so, because I'm probably, what some might say, I'm probably a little weird myself in the way that my brain operates, because I believe, and until I'm proven wrong, this is where I'm gonna stand right here on this square. In a moment of mental breakdown, I'm going to say in a moment of pure madness, I believe that what we have built in the earth realm transcends into the spirit realm. So I believe that even in a moment of madness, somebody can say, go get Marilyn. And in that moment of, I could look you in your eyes and say, come on back.
Yeah.
This where we at.
Yeah.
Come on back.
Yeah.
It's okay. Come on back. And so because I believe so strongly in what has been established in the spirit realm, it doesn't even make sense to not rock in the earthly realm. It doesn't even make sense, because I know that what's happening down here, ultimately, if I gotta go up, because that's where you are, I gotta go up, then I'm gonna just come up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just
Look. Let's go ahead and tap in, because I'm gonna ask Nadia. I see a question that you posed, and we're gonna answer that in just a second. But I gotta go there with you because you just did it for me. In this unfolding process, I'm recognizing myself in every aspect, right? From from the lenses of the great I am and all of my makeup, everything about me. And you said, you up here. If I gotta come up here, then this is what it is. Can I just say that there is not, this is the reason why there are people who are friends, because they understand you in a way that you would not intentionally put it every now and again. However, I lived up there, and it's not from and as a friend, you're able to see all of that stuff that I may label, that the world labels, because we have labels, right? This is the label for that. This is bipolar disorder. This is ADHD. This is this, and I understand all of the labels based on the symptoms, because that's how I was able to regulate some of myself. However, when the mind of a neurodivergent, as they call it, or anything about me, I'm always still in this elevated position of hearing and seeing and downloading, even in the middle of a breakdown, even in the middle of a moment. And for some, because a part of the symptoms of bipolar disorder and some of the other things is this grandiose idea of self. So, as my friend, how often do I battle with being here when it comes to my dynamics with people, right? With the ground, with the walking. How often do I battle being always in this place? And of course, you see everything more settled and laid back or whatever. But from the perspective of the struggle of Shalonda when she's talking to you, what does that look like?
It just looks like, I'll be glad when you realize that's just where you at. I'll be glad when you realize that's just where you at, because the struggle is constant. The struggle is constant. I don't think you've ever had a conversation where, in some way, shape, or form, that struggle shows up. But I know that I understand. I understand when the reinforcements that are necessary to dwell in the elevated place don't come from places that they should have come from, then it's difficult to openly, outwardly, loudly say, this is just where I live. So I understand that. So, but yeah, it's always there, and I don't make light of it, but it's a little thing to me. I don't make light of it. It's as big as you, whatever the moment is that we're in, but it's a little thing to me, because I'm like, God, can you just show her? Like, can you just show her? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a big deal to me, because I know that I believe it was our brother Paul who said, I got this thorn and I done came to you a couple times and you keep telling me no. And so is this the thing that you using to humble me? I I don't believe that it's your thorn. Let me say that. I don't believe that it's your thorn, but I just go to God and say, can you just, like, how long are we gonna do this? Because at some point there's a release that's gonna happen. And so are we gonna wait? Is it gonna be like the day before?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna be like the release day is June 6th, and on June the 5th, you're gonna be like, okay, I was just making sure I could trust you. Here you go. So for me, it's a small thing, but I never make light of it. And when I say it's a small thing, it's a small thing because I know it's never going to have enough power to hold your feet to the
Mm-hmm.
ground. It's never going to be able to keep your toes on the ground when that's where you live at. So I don't know if that answered the question, but that's my perspective.
I think it's powerful though, just that outlook, right? The moment where I just simply make peace with the fact that that's where I live. It's not
Yeah.
from a, because it'd be different if I wasn't humanistic at the same time. Because but my mind is always there. My. So this is why time. You know, we talk about seasons and time and things like that. It's the reason why time is so difficult for me, because I'm always there, right? And like when I say something like that to you, if I say something like that to Charles, if I say something like that to any person who's been assigned to be a friend over time, it's not far fetched, right? Like this is just where she lives, and so I've been struggling. Here's the thorn part of that,
I mean, because I kind of live there too.
right?
So
Right,
I'll just be like, girl,
right.
you know this what this is.
Like you just might as well be in that space,
It's
and I
just,
think
you know this what this is.
the struggle is not humanity, because I'm very personable. I love human beings, but the struggle is me realizing that it's okay for me to live in no time, and
and
only
that
and
and
only
that
use
being
it for what it
and
is.
that and that being timeless does not damage those that are still left to operate in time.
In time, right? And I think that's where that understanding comes from in friendship, in marriage, in other covenant relationships. It's the importance of understanding everybody's dynamic, how it works. As your friend, I know that there are certain things you just don't do. Like let's give an example real quick.
Give one, give one. What is something that I just don't do?
Um, uh, so I joke with Nadia too about this, because when I'm seeing all the similarities, it just cracks me up. All right, let's talk restaurant. I am. We so used to each other that when something is about before it does, I probably already put my hand up for the waiter or the waitress to come over and fix it first. Like, or I already make a face because I'm looking at her to see the face she about to make, and I'm already well aware.
Garçon, garçon, please.
And so
In my defense, I ate at a restaurant yesterday and I didn't ask for a to-go cup, but I did ask for plastic silverware.
of course, of course. And then I see. Listen, she gonna have a plastic fork. She gonna have the go cup. Me, I'm just gonna take the fork, and if it looks like it got a spot, I'm gonna wipe it on my shirt. And that's how I'm gonna wipe it. Moving.
Nope.
So, so you know the differences. And but anyway, that was just a moment. Let's answer this question from Nadia real quick before I forget, because you know my mind will wander in a minute. What's the difference between a friend and someone who just enjoys access to you? Well, I'll start because I know she's gonna take it to her own direction. So all right. So a friend most of the time again is about assignment from they're in, right? The friend is the person that they are to you, and we're talking about it from this perspective. The person who just wants to enjoy access to you, they also may be an assignment, but you have to use the discernment to see whether or not it's either or. For instance, if you know that, look, first, we both coaches, we both been pastors, both, people, we are leaders. All right, we were going to get into conversation in a minute, but we are leaders. So it is an automatic truth that people just need to have access to us. That's reality. And we walk into a situation as a leader and don't understand that, like, people are going to draw. Now, every leader must know what their capacity is. So, for instance, I'm probably more personable when it comes to leadership than most of my counterparts. And not in the sense that they won't hook up with you, they won't talk to you, but they are a lot more, yeah, I'm not doing it. They more like that. I'm more, come on, let's talk the world. Everybody come sit around. Let's sit around the fire and, you know what I mean? Kumbaya. That's me. I am aware in my particular area of effect that people are going to be drawn to me because I am that person. All right. I'm the one that will take. I'm the one that will stand up for you even if you're dead behind wrong, and knowing that you're still in a growth position. So I'm that person. I know that people coming to connect with me are in a place of the arc. They're in a place of feeling sad, broken, weary. My life is over. They're having their own neurodivergent moments. So I'm well aware that those who need access to me will probably drain more out of me than what's being poured into me at the moment. I'm well aware of it. I don't have to consider them my friend, but I may be assigned to be a friend to them for that particular season. So those who need access, they are assignment too. Discerning between whether they're your friend or whether they're just someone who needs to glean from you from a season, that is going to definitely take much prayer and discernment. That's my take on that.
Okay, so I'm gonna read the question. I'm gonna insert some other things. I'm gonna read the question. What's the difference between a man who just wants to you and the man who wants to marry you? I'm real practical. You know what I'm saying? I can be deep. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, but there's no need to be deep right now in this moment because this question is you can insert so many things in there. You know, you can insert what's the difference between a person who actually wants to buy you groceries and a person who really just wants you to cook them dinner. You know what I'm saying? So you can insert a lot of things in there, but for me, and I said this yesterday in the conversation that we were having. I said, for me, things are point of contact, right? Point of contact. So that means, and I'm going to take you back to 2014, just in case if you don't remember. I'm going to take you back to 2014 on a telesummit when I spoke. And when you came on, before you introduced yourself or anything, you said to the woman of God who just said blah, 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 you my sister. Point of contact.
Yeah.
Point of contact. We didn't really have a deep dive in-depth conversation maybe till years later.
Right.
But point of contact. So for me, it's not even about I'm gonna say discernment. It's really about who does my spirit instantly recognize, because my spirit, that's me and God. So who does my spirit instantly recognize? And so, like when Elizabeth touched her and the baby leaped. For me, that's how I know the difference. Because let's just be real. right? I know we're not supposed to think more highly of ourselves than we ought to, and all of that. Who don't want to be around us? Why wouldn't you just want to be around us? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you just want to be around us? We're fun, we laugh, we gonna pray for you, we gonna listen to some music, we might dance, we might drink some wine, we're gonna pray for you, we might prophesy, you might be laid out on the floor, get up. Who wouldn't want to just be around us, right? Right? Who wouldn't just want to be around us, but who want to carry our weight?
Carry out.
And that's the answer. That's my answer.
Whew. So oh gosh. Yep, I don't know if I'm gonna go there today. I don't think I want to be emotional at the moment. I'm just gonna stick to this part. Um, who's willing to carry the weight? I think that is the difference, and I'm gonna try to say this as cleanly as
And
possible.
you know that almost out the, you ain't even gotta go far. You ain't even gotta wait weeks and months. You will know who will carry your weight the first time you sync up with them, right? The first time you sync up with them, the first time you have that phone call and everything has been fun and peaches and cream, the first time you got a problem, don't want to hear your problem. They want to have fun with you. They want to sit around and drain your energy. And I'm not even gonna say they don't want to hear it. They're not built for it.
They're not built for it. They're not great
They're
for
not
it.
built for it. They're not graced for it. They don't have the capacity for it.
Right.
So you it don't take years and years and months and months and months, because life is happening so fast. Things are happening so quickly. Right now, we talking and we laughing and we joking, and the next minute my phone could ring and say, "Hey, I'm sorry to call you, Miss Porter, and tell you that such and such and such."
Yeah.
And instantly,
Yeah.
instantly, I'm gonna find out who's my friend, right? Because my friend ain't budging. Everybody else gonna clear the room.
Yeah. Yeah. You know your friends by how they show up. I remember, um, and here's this: some people in general are not great to be friends. They're
Nope.
still too much in their embryo stage to really know how to. Love makes room for every level of maturity on this journey, and so it understands those who have the capacity and don't. And I'll say, when you feel like a friendship is one-sided, because that's what I'm picking up from somebody that's listening. Um, how do I know if it's really a friendship, or whether or not I'm being a friend but they're not being a friend? Number one, there will be times that happens. There'll be
Mhm.
times where you are assigned to be somebody's friend and they are not intended to be yours. You are there to really sow into their life what it means to have a real friend.
That's
Um,
right.
and you should definitely hold that within yourself and use that. Again, that discernment for me is, hey, I know that I'm here to be your friend, but you really ain't mine. Uh, yes, those are the relationships that most people don't want. But you are also at some point in your life going to need somebody to be a friend to you
Yeah.
when you don't have the capacity to be a friend. All right. Now, if you are in a relationship and you consider this person or these people to be your friends, and it is one-sided, that respect, they're saying, girl, you know, you my friend, you know, we go there. Well, you'll know. Now, hear me. Everybody don't have capacity to be all things for you. I'll go back to me as a person. I'm going to have cave moments. All right. I'm going to have times where I am in cave mode, meaning that I may or may not be able to talk to you on the phone. I may not be able to communicate with you because I'm trying to figure out how to get through this place that I'm in. To my friends, I don't have to explain that. Right?
Mm.
They're kind of like, okay, she's there, she's going through blah blah blah. Or when she's up, she'll answer, or blah, whatever. To those that I am assigned to, they may not understand it, but they still haven't budged per se, because there's still something that they must gain. But there are those who only want access. Like she said, get up, let's party. Oh, I know you like a fun person. We about to go hang out. We about to go do this. We about to turn up. We about to do this, blah, blah. And the only time they want you around is when you are doing something that makes them feel alive, or they get all the attention, or any of those things. You already know the answers. So
can I add
you
something in there
can, you
before you go
can.
further? You said, you talked about the friends, and then you talked about the people who the middle person, that middle one that you named, the ones that their assignments, basically their assignments. This is what I will say, and I'm going to say this from me personally. Everything that I say, I'm saying because this is what Marilyn thinks. Your friends, they wait for you to come out the cave, and then they check and make sure you okay. You've been in the cave for a while. You need some water. You need some crab legs. You need
Ooh,
some food,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? But them middle people that they don't go nowhere because they love you and they still need you. But this is what I've learned about them people in the middle. They whine and complain.
Oh,
They whine and complain when you don't have the capacity to give them the bottle.
oh, say that.
When you don't have the capacity to give them the pacifier, when you are having a moment where you need somebody to pat you on the back, they get a little bit agitated because they want to be patted on the back. That's them ones in the middle, because them last ones, they're gonna leave anyway. When you don't get them what they want, they're gonna leave.
Yeah.
Right? But them ones in the middle, yeah, that's where you get the spirit of offense, the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of entitlement. That's where you get all of the things right there in the middle. I'm done.
So, okay, so as a leader, I ain't able to say, yeah, I mean, because right now I'm thinking about parenthood too, to be honest with you. I don't even know
Oh
how to
yeah,
talk, because that I think, yeah, I think maybe your kids, like, again, everybody has their capacity, right? Their point to play or whatever, or whoever you are in their world. But I thought about my kids too in that moment of middle. They have a level of love for you because you're the one who's nurturing and all that. But when you cannot give them the bottle, because you said give them the bottle, give them the pacifier, those things are important. And so let's frame that really quickly. How do you believe that part needs to be handled? Give some tips to those that are in the middle space, because I don't. Well, okay, so I'll have to explain again, but I know that I believe that everybody in their proper places deserves the same respect, right? So for the middle person, there's a reason why they're the middle person, right? In this particular moment, season, or whatever. How do you give them some thoughts or advice? Because I'm sure I've been a middle person. I'm thinking like I told you, Miss Akins, my childhood pastor's wife, she just passed away the other day. I think about them. I'm like, I damn sure probably, oops, excuse me, y'all, but not excuse me. I was damn sure the dang on middle person in a lot of those instances, right? With our leaders before us and all of that. So let's give some pointers and tips of things we learned of if we are the middle person, and then things that they learn to be supportive of people who are in that season. Now I'm trying not
So
to
so
talk and cry, but go ahead.
so when you in the middle, I believe that being in that place of, it's a transitional place, right? It's a transitional place, because if the person that you're desiring to be gleaning from, if they are solid, you're on your way to becoming them. You
Ooh,
know what I'm saying? You're on your way to becoming some version of what they are, because that's who's pouring into you.
right.
So when you're in that middle place and you find yourself whining or complaining or feeling like somebody else is taking your space, or feeling like, well, if they got time for this, why don't they have time for that? I think you just got to remind yourself that I'm on my way to being her.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to juggle some of this stuff
I'm
soon.
on
Live in
I'm
this
on my
space soon.
yeah, I'm on my way to being her. And I'm judging the place that I'm on my way to.
Oh,
I'm judging the very place that I'm on my way to.
I ain't thought about that part.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that right there is like, whoa. So that means there's gonna come a time when I'm that person. And my heart, so we can't read other people's hearts, but we can read our own,
You can read
right?
all.
So in that moment, you have to be able to foresee, right? You got to be able to foresee yourself and be honest. When I'm in that moment, is my heart going to be malicious? Am I
Mm.
trying to be funny? Am I just I don't want to be bothered? And if you're honest with yourself, either you're gonna be saying yes, right? And you're gonna know, ooh, I gotta check myself, or you're gonna be saying no and you're gonna give that person grace.
Yeah, I think so. That speaks the seed time and harvest principle to me, in the sense of still being aware, just from a leader or no leader, from the perspective of heart circumcision. What am I sowing to them in this season? Right. It's a moment, I think, of self check, to be able to say, okay, anybody who understands what it means to have to juggle multiple things
Multiple things and multiple
could be, can
people.
be able to, yeah, and multiple people. And I think for some, that's the part that's the hardest to accept, because um, and instead of being a spiritual teacher who's teaching heart stuff in a world full of people that don't really want to have to deal with hearts, right? I don't want to deal with me because it's their fault, it's everybody's fault. Having to teach the opposite of that, but also having to be mindful of everybody's concerns and feelings in the moment. Um, when we get to that age. So if I think about Reverend Aiken, Sister Aiken, back in that time, they were pastoring for 30 something, 40 something years. Lord help, you know what I mean? Having to deal. And I can imagine how it felt, because I left the church a couple of times. I needed to go and get something deeper, I guess. I needed to learn at another capacity. And they were more of, Sunday school age, touching on the basic foundational principles of what I needed to know. But me being me, I needed more, right? And I
Mhm.
left to go join other churches. And I remember coming back, uh, and this certain feeling was there, and how I felt like I was being treated in the moment. From the self perspective, it's like, well, why they acting funny with me? You know what I mean? But when I go back to the place of being them in this age right now, and saying,
Mhm.
yeah, because the way I am is, I know that I'm working with a lot of people, and it's going to be different time, frames, right? Different seasons. But for whatever reason, if you are with me, walking with me, being discipled by me in any way, um, then I expect that if you feel like you need something more, I want to make it safe where you can come to me and say, hey, I feel like I need something different. Uh, I don't think they knew to do that, because back in the day, it was, if you ain't with us, if you ain't with us, you ain't with us. You never was with us in the first place. Or, they felt offended when people went to something different. But I can see through their perspective how that would have made sense. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, we got and what do you want to reap as a harvest when you are that?
When you are that,
What do you want
because
to reap?
that's where you're going. You know
Right?
what I'm saying? Like that to some degree.
Yes.
If you're sitting under the tutelage of someone, then everything is flowing down from the head. And
Yeah.
so that's pouring down on you. So to some degree, you maybe you won't be a prophet. Maybe you won't be a light. But something in you is being formed and shaped to look like. And so, from a body of Christ perspective, I'm just this is like a little sidebar. I
Yeah.
believe that's why we're in such a crisis right now, is because everybody wants to be autonomous, not realizing that you're supposed to look like. You remember the
Yeah.
first time you heard Janae speak, you came to me and said, she sound like you. She's supposed to. Because my voice has been pouring into her, but don't
Yeah.
nobody want to look like what they're coming from.
Yeah.
But you're going to look like, sound like, speak like something from that person is about to show up in you. And
Yeah.
so when that shows up, you're going to have to be able to. So how you say you're looking back, what I'm saying is knowing that that's possible, knowing the possibility that the person who is pouring into me, the person, I'm from a pastoral perspective, the person who's there when my children are sick, the person who's there when my mama dies, the person who's there when I have emergency surgery, the person who's there when I cry in the middle of the night, the person who's there when my rent is due and I got $5 and it's 1,500 and it's due tomorrow, the person I go to because I know they can call down heaven in the mirror, that person is doing that for 100 other people. That person is doing that for 100 other people. So when you so I believe because we are aware now, like, yeah, let me look ahead. Let me, because we all are prophetic to some degree. We ain't all prophets, but we all can foresee, and God will allow us to foreknow. So, hey, take a minute, hop in the spaceship, time travel. Ooh, was I supposed to say that? But
Yeah.
go move ahead a little bit, right? Move ahead a little bit and see yourself sitting in that seat and check your heart from the future.
That's good. That's good. Check your heart from the future. I like that act. I mean, I think that's probably like that's
You can
good. That's
have it.
good.
Look,
That's
you
good.
can
That's
have
good.
it.
You know I'm gonna steal it anyway.
You can have it. You can have it. Because that was Holy Spirit. Like I literally never thought that thought before in my
That's
life.
so powerful to me. Check your heart from the future.
From the future.
I just need that written down. Somebody put that in the chat real quick so I can go back. Check your heart from the future. That is the ultimate seed time and harvest statement for me right now. I just gotta soak that in. And I think that's kind of where I live from. Right? Living from here is kind of
But
like,
it,
yeah,
but if we tie that into the
that's
topic of friendship and leadership and all of
yeah.
that, it it like I know right now. He said I'm stealing it too. That's
How about say, did you see it?
y'all ain't gotta steal it. Y'all can have it. That was the Holy Spirit. Yeah, yeah. Look, you know I don't even like that.
Look, that might be the new mantra for the Love Walk approach. I mean,
That's it. Check your heart. And thank you, Holy Spirit, because I literally
it's
never
beautiful.
that thought. But when you put it all together, I can definitively say, because I time travel, I can definitively say that 5 years from now, I'm still going to be picking up the phone. I
Yeah.
can definitively say that 10 years from now, you're going to know where I'm at. You're going to know what I'm doing. And if I can't pick up the phone, somebody is going to know if this person calls, this is the message for them, and tell them I'll call them back when I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Tell them
gotta,
I'll call you back. So let
yeah,
me say this. So this makes room. That's another book, child. Listen, y'all, he should have just been on here. He playing too much right now. Okay, because we could have just been doing this powwow, but we're gonna do this again because I think that I love what we're talking, but I think that this is a good vibe. Thank you, Nad, for posting the words. But and you another book for sure. Time travel. He said that's another book. All right, so I think this of course is always powerful when we're able to unravel. But for those of you who don't know, we in full flow mode. All right, I didn't even get the title of friendship conversation until what? When did I send it to you? Maybe 30 minutes ago, something like that. Nevertheless, it's important for me that we flow because I need to have what needs to be said in the moment be said in the moment. All right, that's number one. So the same way I need that to happen, this is also where the announcement now can be made. I was preparing for an announcement, um, but this is something that you said that jogged it. I've been being coached, and I think almost 20 years. I've been coaching, I've been writing. Um, and I did all of that to build a business, right? Because money got to come in somehow. And God told me then to do full-time ministry, to do ministry full-time. Even when he told me then to do ministry full-time, I still named it Love Walk Motivation Services because I was just kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to be hypocritical. And then eventually it changed to Love Walk Outreach Global, right? It's always been this tugging of doing this ministry full-time, Love Walk full-time. But here is the portion of that where I got not stuck, but this is where this journey had to take me. I felt like I need something different in order to make a name and to set the tone and all of that. But over the years, I realized that I'm personable with people, but I'm so here, there, and everywhere living here that me having my time scheduled, my life scheduled out, it causes me, and this is just from my heart, it causes me to hurt more than help.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because my heart wants to do it because, okay, people need this and I need to be available for this and I'm going to set the time for this and I'm going to set the time for that. And I'm asking this now from a friend perspective because this, you're going to give me viewpoints that I won't be able to get myself. But I believe that I try to conform so that I could say that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do with my gifts and all of that. But when I try to start putting, say, flow a certain type of way, schedule a certain type of way, do it a certain type of way, I totally failed. And I'm going to say the word failed, even though other people are not going to agree. But I totally feel like I failed at that because it took away from the fullness of who Shalonda is to try to make sure that I'm holding up everything, right? And then it crumbles. And so God has been dealing with me about reverting back to full-time ministry, not abandoning Coach Treasure or Shalonda, Inspiration Treasure, whatever, but only from that perspective. Can I be spiritual counselor for people or spiritual advisor? Do you, as my friend, oh God, I'm probably asking for the most blunt answers. Thank you, Destiny, for being a Love Walk Vision partner with us. I appreciate you so very much for your tea. I don't want to bypass that. I know you're not going to say I failed, but as my friend over the years, can you see where I have allowed myself to try to conform? And in what way did it appear to you? You said earlier, Lord, just let her get it. But you've given me a few words, a few messages that I struggled with to own the fullness of them, right? Correct? Is that the way you see it? Or would you put it in other words? And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Just
okay. So I'm going to start with the concept of failure first.
I thought you was.
I'm going to start there first. Because, I'm a schoolgirl. I'm a schoolgirl. So I revert process. I'm a nerd. I'm a schoolgirl. And so when we talk about tests, because to me that failure means like a test. You took a test and you failed it. I'm just going to tell you what I saw in the spirit realm. I wish I would love to just give you but that's not in that moment. I actually saw it play out in the spirit realm. And this is what I saw. I saw you sitting at a desk with your pencil ready to go, and the teacher sitting at her desk. And after about an hour, The teacher said, "Okay, you can go now." The moral of the story, you can't fail a test that was never given. There was never a test given. So no, it was okay, you are free to go and be. You are free to go and be. There was a pencil, there was you, there was a desk, there was never a test that was administered. And then the teacher just was like, well, okay, you can go now. You can go ahead and be you. So from the perspective of failure, I feel like we're talking about and I'm again, I don't make light of it, but I see it so simplistically as the only test that we have to be concerned with are the ones that are administered from our creator. So nobody in the earth realm has the authority or the ability or there's no test to be given. So no, I don't see it as failure. I see it as the process. I see it as the process. I don't see it as failure. There was never a test given. There was never a if I don't figure it out, because what are we figuring out? Like there's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing there. You're doing it. And I think I've always said that. And I think I've always said, well, I think what you're trying to map out, you're already doing it. Like you're literally already doing it. And so it's hard to map it out. Even times when you've come to me because um I am marketing, I am creative, I am business, I got the MBA and I know how to do all of these things. And even when you've come to me, God's never given me a thing. He's literally never said, tell her to do this. And so I would always come back and say, well, I don't think you're supposed to have a plan. I would say it. Just I think you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, which is why I finally got to the point of just saying, God, can you just show her? Again, not making light of it, but knowing that the testing and the struggling and the second thinking and the overthinking, that's all you. It ain't two different yous. So we're not talking about mental health. We're talking about the Shalonda who knows that if I really go ahead and knock this thing out the way I'm supposed to, it's going to be lonely because so many people haven't caught on enough to be able to go. You asked me a question.
And that would be, and so with all that being said, that would be, the reason for um, the question in and of itself, because you said without saying, you spoke to the failure, but you said without saying, um, what you have said to me over time basically is, Shalonda, you are the brand. You are the one that needs to
Yeah,
show up, just talk, just be who you are. And that was the point of the question. You answered
yeah.
without
And I'm
going too deep
listen,
into. But
listen, and I'm good at what I do. So I don't want no client that I can't brand. Why would I want a client that I can't brand? Why would I want to try to brand somebody that, like, okay, God, what, he's literally already done it. Like he did it. You were
so
born.
that is the gist of the conversation from a friend perspective. She has basically told me, um, and this is what I meant when I said that I tried to dress it up as coaching, and not that I'm not a coach, because I am a coach, but I'm a coach on the whim. Like, I'm a coach on the whim. My inspired words are on the whim. My everything is on a whim. And so we talk about this often, and I'm like, but if I don't do it like this, then this happens. If I don't do it like this, then this happens. And do I need to do this many times? Do I need And she would always just kind of be like, no, this is what you already do. And I remember like really going back and forth with myself because I go through the motions of not wanting to disappoint. And this is not from the perspective of, oh, she just this people pleaser because she's trying to get her way. I'm not that. Like, this literally is who I am. Like, it's like, okay, if I do this, this is gonna do this, and it's not gonna do this, and this person gonna suffer, but that person not gonna get it, and then I'm trying to bring it all together. That is who I am. Bring it all together without feeling some type of way about it. Just be all of that. Be the one that brings it together. And so I struggle with that. Anyway, I said all that to say that Treasure's Arc of Love is a spiritual hub where I can just be. Like, I love doing YouTube. I love doing the TikToks and all of that stuff. But years ago, I didn't do it at the time. Because there is where I always show up because people expect me to be there. And they need something from me that I don't have the capacity, nor am I asking for the capacity. Let me make it clear. If I wanted the capacity to do it, I could ask God, he could train me, I could do it. But I don't want to ask for the capacity to be anybody other than myself in this age. And that's the announcement. Like, finding your rhythm, finding your space, is saying, this is who I am. Come in if you will. Right? And if I'm not that choice, it's okay, because there are other people who speak that language. But you also said something to the point of, you will one day be those who are in here. So this is the fullness of the announcement. So I struggled like I did with you when you told me, hey, you like Jesus. This is your assignment. This is what you're doing. How I struggled when you told me to take the ESS off of prophet, and just do that. But also I struggle with the terminologies that I learned in church, because I'm in the world of teaching our universal principle to a world of universal people. You know what I mean? So discipleship kept coming up, and I think I kind of eased it in there in the arc a little bit, but coaching is one thing, but discipleship is the word. And I think that there's a distinction between the two words that I'm going to let you expound on for a second, but I'm called to disciple, right? This is one of those pieces. When you said you like Jesus, don't be smiling like that. So just like Jesus, this is and like Jesus is not, I'm gonna have to be Yahshua because I'm Shalonda. My assignment is similar. I am not here to just coach. That may be a part of our arrangement, but I'm here to disciple, here to lead a movement. And I struggled with that. I struggle with structuring the program like that. I struggle with all of the stuff because I'm still trying to figure out, okay, first of all, where's the revenue going to come from? Because people's hearts is not like mine. Speaking of, thank you so much. Thank you, Apostle Charles. Thank you, Dr. Bishop, Apostle Charles, for being a Love Walk Vision partner today. I appreciate you so very much from my heart. But I struggle with that language of having disciples. Are you willing to cleanse your heart? Do you want to do the heart circumcision of what Christ Joshua was talking about in modern day terms, without me having to label it something that is going to require me to be somebody I'm not? I think all of that came across. Did it? Do you need clarity to give your spiel?
I just think, and I feel like we've already walked down this lane before. And I did it differently. I kind of walked you into the wall. I'm not going to do that this time. But what I am going to say is, there are certain names that you hear And I don't like when I hear Mother Teresa, I just hear her. I don't think um oh, she was a nun and she had an orphanage. And I literally just hear her name and know what comes with that name. I don't need a whole list, right? When I think of Martin Luther King, we know he did the civil rights movement and he was a preacher. But when I hear his name, I just think he came and he did what he was supposed to do. So when I hear certain names, I don't I don't think of a long list of accolades. I just think of everything that they came here to do. They did it so well that it's tied up into just the name.
Awesome.
So I think it's that same concept of, people say, what's in a name? Well, when you do it the way God intended for you to do it, what's in a name is everything that he sent you here to do is spelled out in just the name. Just the name. So I think it's beautiful to just show up in the world and let the world call you who they need you to be for them in that moment, right? Whatever that looks like. Some people are going to hear you say something and they're going to say, "Oh man, that speech was a motivational speech." While somebody is going to be like, "Man, I felt the Holy Spirit and I was slain in the spirit." And somebody's going to be like, "That inspired me." And somebody's going to be like, "Man, you know what? I need, that was some good coaching. I'm going to follow them steps." And it's all going to be the same word. So you don't have to make the distinction, the world does. That's my answer. It's not up to you to decide who you need to be. It's up to you to be who you are and let each individual person decide what you deliver to them meant to them. How it translated to them. Because I'm sure to the people who went to whatever the name of that church is in Atlanta, they probably see Martin Luther King, that was their pastor. To the people in Alabama on the bus ride, I guess in a good portion of the world, he was a civil rights leader. But somewhere in the world, somebody is just thinking like, man, he was a good father. They had a lot of kids. To somebody, it was just like, so it's I think at this point you get to put down all of that, pick up the one thing that you're here for, let's say disciple people to love, and they get to decide how it affected their life. You don't have to figure it out. You just have to do it. Give it, bring it, express it. And yeah, it's going to be something different to everybody anyway, whether it's announced or not, whether they say, "Here come Reverend, Doctor, Prophet, Apostle, Coach, Writer, Publisher." Somebody's going to be listening to you and they're going to hear you say you did spoken word. It's going to be a real bleep. You talk for an hour and a bleep is going to come out where you did spoken word, and somebody's going to be like, everything else you said is going to go out the window, and they're going to be like, "Oh man, she a spoken word artist. Let me go find her on YouTube." So it's no longer up to you to make the distinctions. It's up to the world to hear the message and figure out where it fits in their heart.
That's a given. That's a given. So that's
So
the
I think it's
kind of that's
great.
kinda I like how it's been. We're talking structure. I think I was more talking about the structure of the programs and all those different things, but I definitely that's exactly where I am. Uh, just showing up as all of those pieces. But as far as structuring programs and all of those things um, to fit a certain narrative, that's just the opposite of I guess where thought I had to do it a certain way in order for me to meet every need. Um, and I think
I
that
think
that's
I,
just like
I
it's
think
showing up.
I think as you move forward and stand flat-footed in this space, I just think that people will tell you what they need and you'll give it to them when you can. I think people will send you, you'll get 100 emails that say, Dr. Shalonda, we need to know more about this. I don't think you have to do anything that is I don't the word that comes to my mind is frivolous. Meaning you don't have to do empty things anymore. Things that, a $7 coaching program that one person sign up for. No, I think 100, 200, 300 people are going to come to you now and say, can you do this, and we'll prepay for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my perspective. Nothing needs to be structured. I think God's going to let you randomly give people what they ask for, and they'll tell you they're willing to pay because this is what they need. So while you're going about just being you, the people are going to tell you, can you write a book about this? And we'll prepay for the book. Can you do this? Can you come here? Can you do this? And you can sell the tickets 6 months in advance. And so that way we'll know all your financial stuff is taken care of, because you'll have all the money from, 500 seats being sold in advance. I just think it all needs to be, just,
No, listen. Let me tell you something. He just put it. She get up. Ain't she coach you? Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how this go, right? Let me tell you how this go. Nadia, thank you so much for being a Love Walk Visual. Let me tell you, the people, you already know how Nadia and Destiny both are always present, thanking them for being present, but not only being present, but being a vision partner is something totally different, right? So thank y'all for showing up. So Charles, listen, this how this go, right? I have gone back and forth, because now he is a very productive, this is what we doing. God give me the vision tonight. Tomorrow we already doing it.
Yeah.
The total opposite, right? Because I'm like, well, God gave me the word. This is the day, and it might not be until 2 years from now He want me to do it. I'm that person. And so, when you're talking, and I said what I said about before, trying to conform to having a certain type of program, because I don't be wanting to leave people out, and that's the truth. Everybody knows that. But you said something earlier about that rocket ship, right? About the falling off and all them different things. And I think that's where I struggle most. One flow, this is how I operate, this is what it is. But maybe I could ease this in here too, so that it can fit. And God is like, no, you are supposed to be this person. This is your voice. This is your way of functioning. This is the way you operate. This is the way you speak that draws people in. And this is what needs to be. So I think that, I struggled with that for so long, to the point where I felt like, okay, I'm doing it. This is why I probably ain't working. You know what I mean? It is what it is, flowing as you've always done. I've definitely tried to flow, but I think that flow is something that is for sure so random that, like, it's just the best way to operate for me. But she just gave us.
But at the beginning and at the end, this is just real right here. Have you ever wanted something? I mean, really wanted something, and didn't go get it?
If I had it to get it, definitely went after all of it.
Yeah. And so there comes a point when people gotta want it bad enough to go get it. right? People got to want it bad enough to go get it. Meaning, if they come to you and what you're teaching is, they're like, oh no, this is too advanced. You got to want it bad enough to go get it, not to expect this train to slow down so you can hop on it. Go get what you need and then come back. You might be ready, but go get what you need, then come back and get on this train. But you cannot say that you love your brothers and sisters and expect the train to slow down that got 100 people on it because you missing a piece. Listen, go get what you need. Because somebody got the piece that you need. You got to want it bad enough to go get it and not expect to be spoon-fed. Sometimes in my life, God was always in a place, right? He never moved, but I had gotten so far away, I had to run back. I had to chase him down. He wasn't moving. I had just gotten too far away. Same thing.
Say it. That's
it. They gotta be willing to go get what they need. And if you are the voice that they are called to, they gotta be willing to go get what they need and say, okay, I'm gonna find what I need, I'm gonna get what I need, I'm gonna get myself up to speed, and then I'm gonna chase it down until somebody gonna reach out their hand and say, come on. And okay, but don't expect the people that are going full speed ahead. They're being taught, they're being revived, they're being edified, they're getting everything that they need. And if the train slow down, some of them will get off and they won't get what they need for the rest of the ride. So if you love your brothers and sisters, then let that train go. And just know, I'm gonna have to run twice as hard, twice as fast after I get this piece I need, but I'm gonna catch that train again. Even if I have to wait till it stops and circle back around. Because it's gonna come around again. Now I may just have to show some patience and wait till it comes back around. So what I'm saying to you is, somebody has that piece, whatever that piece is that they might be missing or that they might need. They will get that piece. I wanted to say to you earlier when you were talking, and you were talking kind of like in this same realm, kind of in this same realm of everybody getting what they need. Everybody should get what they need. So everybody should get what they need. But it doesn't have to come from you. And that's okay. It's okay if where you are is not where they are, but if they want it, they gotta come get it. And it's not like, and you're not the type of person that you conducting a train, right? Train speeding up, right? Light speed. And you still praying for the one who went back. It's not like you not gonna still cover them. Lord, help them get what they need and help them get back swiftly. But we gotta go.
Yeah.
But we gotta go.
Mm-hmm. Right, Charles. Right. Just that's it. That's our expression for the moment. See, and this is a conversation that we have had multiple times. I've had this conversation with them as my friends. Like, literally, there are people who are graced. They have the strength for your weakness. And that is the biggest and looking at okay, let me say it like this.
But it won't cost her. It'll cost the people on the train.
That's what I'm about to say. So if I do not show up as me, and let's go ahead and put this in perspective, needs heart on here to be 100% totally clear. This is not selfishness. This is not, it's about me. This is about your assignment. My assignment is to lead a global movement and to have disciples that are willing to walk on that global movement. Meaning that when you walk in the door with me and you get attached to the name of who I am, right? That because this is what it is. you into this space, you know exactly who I am, you know exactly how I flow, you know exactly what I'm teaching. There are no surprises. When you walk into that space, then you are saying, and this is what I talk about with them, coming underneath the vision of what Love Walk is doing. And you are saying, I agree to these terms, I'm walking with that. When you get to the space where you feel like it's not for you, I love you enough to say, go get what's yours. This is how I operate on the regular, y'all. So go get what's yours. Be where you need to be in this season, because if what I'm giving is causing you to stumble, be with me. I'm not gonna say the problem with me, but the heart of me, of course, is going to continue to pray for you the whole way, even as I'm continuing to move. Because if I stop the train, what she's saying is, if I stop the train, the other people who are on the train, who are willing to go, who are willing to ride, who are willing to honor, who are willing to hear and follow. Jesus said this. Yahshua said this to his people. He said, if you talk about you following me, but you can't even do my commands.
He didn't.
So how you a part of me?
Right? He didn't just call 12 disciples.
He didn't just call 12 disciples.
12 disciples is who got down.
Yep, and who they talk about the most, who stayed, who rocked out. Yep, who rocked out the whole way, who lived out the entire, even in Judas. And we talked about this before when you read about in the Gnostic Gospels about Judas. When Jesus told Judas who he would be, the role he would play, he trusted his voice that much, even if he still trusted the voice that much that he knew what role he would play, even though it would give him this name. Yep. That he said, and this is, I feel the wells opening up. I talk like this with them, okay? But this is the truth. When they started rocking with him, he made it very plain and clear, not as a bondage mechanism, but as a liberty mechanism, that if you are going to go with me, some things you are going to have, that's going to have to drop off. Count the cost and move forward, right? This is what's about to happen with me. Can you rock? Can you hang? Are you going to ride? Are you going to go? So what she's saying is, I have to show up as me in this form, however that is, and keep the train moving. Those who want to ride, ride with me. Those who don't want to ride, it's okay to get what you need and come back if you want to. Because if y'all don't know me by now, I'm gonna open the door up and say, hey, give me all that. Whatever you needed, because I'm not here to put bondage. I am here to help you be liberated and free. And in order for me to be free, I must be what she's speaking about, just me. And then come into this space as is. That's pretty intense for the moment. Submit to the vision. The train cannot slow down. And those words in and of itself is powerful. That's a self-introspection. Am I with it or not? I have to ask that same question of God. Like God looking at me like, okay, we're going to this next season, this next bit of elevation. That's why that's also another reason why my spaces are limited, because everybody is not able to carry the full weight. Everybody cannot carry the full weight of a vision this large. And if I do not allow myself to just be in it, then I'm just going to keep getting dragged on, working on. Come back when you want to. Most leaders are. You hear me? He said, I'm still working on the comeback when you want to part. But that's the love walk, though. You feel me? That's literally the grace of God, the unconditional love of God. God understands everybody at every level of their maturity, which is the reason why he does easily let us go to discover, to explore, to live. And then when we come back, the arms still wide open. Y'all know I'm gonna drop that prodigal son teaching sometime soon, but he allows it. No argument, no fussing, no fighting. You got the same privileges. You go get what you need. You come back. And I think the working on it part is our own heart circumcision.
If I'm honest, if I'm brutally honest, I have pushed people off the train because it's gonna kill you. This gonna kill you. I know you love me enough to stay on, but it's gonna kill you. I gotta push you off this train and hope that the devastation of that push brings you to full surrender, and that
Brings
you
you to
ready.
full surrender. That. Oh, Marilyn. So that that is always probably my biggest struggle because I'm thinking about the push. All right. I am so empathetic with people, y'all, that I have been there for the pushes. I have been there for the pulls, the pulling out the socket. I done been there through the swamp. I done been there through so much, right? But this is, remember when I did the scenario about the rocket ship going to an atmospheric pressure where, and I had to
Yeah.
show it to me in that way. He said,
Yeah.
yes, I know. And like just using this scenario of pushed off the train, going up to this atmospheric pressure, Shalonda, if they cannot breathe there, they will die anyway.
Don't crush them.
So when she talks about pushing out the train, she, again, not talking from selfishness, talking from, hey, this is best for you. If I
That's
don't push you off, you will not be able to take the impact of what's about to happen. This speed gonna hurt your neck.
This is the
Make
love
your
walk.
neck come on. So the love, but this goes to show what love really is, and we're gonna get into this deeper in another episode. But love also allows, it allows you to get off at this stop. It does push the mother birds, they push they stuff out the doggone nest so they can fly. Well,
right.
when he showed me that, it was still such a difficult transition because he had to teach me that love wasn't about just taking everybody everywhere, abandoned or rejected or hurt, but love is doing what needs to be done in that very moment so that it is effective. When I had to talk to one of my spiritual daughters, my armor bearers, and she had so much stuff on her back and weight, and she was working through so many things and trying to go to school and did some other things, and she's the mother of an autistic son, and she's trying to do all these things. God had to tell me to tell her, you can take a minute. This is push off the train, Shalonda style, okay? Because I ain't finna hurt you on purpose. I'm gonna try to figure out the best place to push you on the cushion or something. But when I had to say that to her, that was a push out off the train. That was a push out the nest. That was a drop you off at this moment, because if I try to take you further, giving you this responsibility, trying to get you to understand and anticipate my needs, because an armor bearer is to anticipate the leader's needs. It's not a bad thing. It's just a role to play. If you've gone through that much, you can show up exactly when I need, because you got a lot going on. That doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean that you are not sufficient. It doesn't mean that I don't love you. It means that I do. And it means that when I say this is what I mean. So when you sign up to be discipled by me, and here's the difference between me being your coach and you being discipled by me. When I'm your coach, I'm asking you questions to figure it out for yourself. Me discipling you is me giving you the information and then you getting to choose for yourself whether this is sufficient for me or not. Is this the way I'm walking? You can still be discipled by me and not have a role in my world.
Absolutely.
I have to know whether or not you are you here just to be discipled, to get that heart cleansed out? Or are you here to do something? I will sit you down at an event. I will. You can be right there doing your thing, and I will sit you down and say, no. When I show like that, that's uncomfortable for many, but that's what it means to push you out the train at this spot. You ain't ready yet. This ain't the space where you need to be, because this speed is too much for you.
Yeah.
Get off. Yeah, and so I think that part of the journey. So that's the difference, and that was the announcement. Stepping into full apostolic doctoral leader mode. And if coaching is needed, hey, we can do that too. But I'm here to give you something. I'm here to give you something. I'm here to pour it out. I'm here to be exactly who it is that I'm meant to be. And that's very random, sporadic, in the moment. Inspirational treasure is her name. That means she inspired in the moment.
Well, let me ask a question.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm asking a question, and this is for everybody who's in the room and everybody who may ever be in the room. I'm pretty Bible savvy. A
little bit,
I could be wrong. Other than the crucifixion, where was the schedule at? for Jesus. Now I'm talking about Jesus and his
Talking
people.
about this leader called Jesus.
We gonna be all right, Mary. We gonna be at your house just a quarter of a second before the sun go down. Like what?
Yeah.
Where was the schedule? It didn't. They was in the boat. The storm came. There was no y'all get in
Obstacle
the
on the
boat. Y'all go out into the middle of the water, and at 8 o'clock, I'ma show up and say step out. Where was the schedule? Jesus and them just kind of rolled up.
You know, be where I need to be when I need to be there. If it's on my schedule, it's on the schedule because
Other
Holy
than,
Spirit
like I said,
already confirmed it.
other than the crucifixion, that was scheduled, right?
Yeah,
That was scheduled. But other than the crucifixion, and he showed up to that because that was the whole
that's a
point.
part of the plan.
This was the whole reason that I came here for. This the showdown. This the final showdown right here.
This is the thing that I will prepare. That's so funny. You said, listen. So the scenario of the cross and the crucifixion and all that. You already know the story. God given that a couple of years ago. Telling this about it was scheduled. This particular season of my life. Oh God dang it was scheduled. Do you hear me? And you shared that part, but the rest of it was I need to be where I am when I need to be there. And I thought about that, right, when it comes to, when we talk about branding, who I am and all that. That's how I at the restaurants, every waiter and waitress, anybody who go out to eat with me, I think they be sitting there like, I don't even know if they know what's coming right now. Cause it's probably gonna be
Right,
so the
right,
appointed
Nadia,
times based
but
on tradition. Those were based on tradition. Yeah. Go
appointed
ahead.
times, daily prayer, evening sacrifice, daily synagogue greetings. That was the
That was the traditions of the men.
that was the traditional. That was
Yeah,
the
that
traditional
was
way
the
of doing that.
tradition of the men. That was a good point to bring up though, Nadia, because that means that she been reading too. I love it. So appointed times, daily prayers, evening sacrifices, daily synagogue readings. So those traditions of men were created to keep for people to be able to have a way to govern and structure their life for themselves. Christ Joshua didn't operate on systems and times and all of that. He tried his best. Well, I ain't gonna say tried his best, but he honored the traditions of men to the extent that he could. But when it was time to step outside of that, he just stepped outside of that and did what he had to do. And it was
even when he ran into the synagogue and his mama and daddy couldn't find him, what did they say? It's not yet time.
It's not yet
Because
time.
he wasn't moving in time.
Yeah.
He wasn't moving in time.
Did you not know that I'll be about my father's business? Look, I gotta be where I need to be.
So let me see. So appointed time. So yes, Sunday service may be at 11 a.m. Yes, we might read the announcements and do prayer at 11:15. Yes, we might have communion at 1:45. So that the religious people.
Yeah. They took the law.
The religious people honored the schedule. They honored it so much till there was no room for anything else.
There was no room for flow.
For the move of God.
Yeah, they called him on everything. They tried to correct him when it came to everything. He needed to be able to just flow, and I think that's the thing. So let's look at this, and we're gonna get ready to go because we do this all the time. But his assignment, and I think this is important right now to look at the assignments of people. Y'all know me to say God has no respecter of persons, meaning that these are our assignments, and assignments for different things. If you are a CEO of a company, there's a way you move, there's a rhythm, there's something that you must do. But most CEOs, they may come and be there for a meeting, but the rest of their day is flow. And then the rest of their day, if their administrator or their administrative assistant got the schedule and they say, hey, we got to do this, and this, But something happens with that CEO and they like, yeah, but now I gotta be here at this time and do this thing instead. It's a flow to that. Well, with Christ Joshua, he again, he did not disrespect their traditions, but he did understand that we are bigger than traditions. Traditions are just there for the sake of an individual. However, when a role is meant for something, right? This assignment is meant for something. I must move the way I need to move. There may be others that are surrounding me who are better with keeping track of schedule, time. This person may be better with announcing. John the Baptist was the, hey, prepare ye the way. Maybe there's one that's supposed to be like that for that particular assignment. There's the other one that's keeping hold of the money. That one is there for the assignment. He picked the disciples. He was disciplining them in the heart, but he picked them based on their giftings. So there's nothing wrong with keeping time and all that when it comes to the world system. But when you are walking or flowing with the individual that is not on world system time, right? I may need to be on a corner at 2:22 instead of 2:30. And if that's the case, I'm going to be leaving early because that person need to hear what I got to say at 2:22. Because at 2:30, they're already going to walk in front of the bus. So that literally is the way that life is supposed to flow. And I think when we understand people by assignment, by sometimes the picture changes. But nevertheless, you said a mouthful. And we could do this all day. But really lasting remarks, something that is going to seal the deal. This is also the reason why I love to flow, because none of this, we don't talk about what we talk about before we get here. I love it. I love it so much because then it makes it authentic for me. Dr. M.E. Porter. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being afraid. Thank you for being afraid.
Travel down the road and back again.
And have. We have traveled up and down the road.
And then we threw a party. Invited everyone you knew you would be.
You would see the biggest gift would be from me. And the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. How genuine is that? Because I don't show up without some type of gift. Because the apostle in you, I honor the prophet in you. You have spoken some things into my life that, of course, I'm still catching up to be able to stand in truth and say, yep, this is just who I am. And those that are assigned to walk, even if you feel uncertain about it, like just feel some certainty. The Treasures Arc of Love, our group is going to be if by chance you want to coach with me, it doesn't mean that I will not coach with you. I am still a spiritual advisor, a support coach, things like that. But the main reason for being in Treasures Arc of Love is to be discipled in love. All right. To do the circumcision of their heart. I'm going to say some things that you may not agree with, and it's all good. But you must know if you're there to be discipled. If you are, then hold on for the ride. And if it seems like it's taking you too far, when I start introducing things from other faiths, religions, belief systems, universal languages, if it's too uncomfortable, what you do? Get off the train until you're ready. That's all. It's all good. All right?
Get off the train until you're ready.
Yes, and we are just shifting into that vein. So, of course, you'll see me going live again randomly in different places as the Holy Spirit is leading. So I do not question myself anymore. Help me, Lord. Don't be making that faces like, yeah, we'll be on the phone next week. Don't do that. Am I? Is Mary Williamson's poem true that I am afraid of my own light? It could very well be so. I think because I do have that moment of I don't want people to think I'm better than them. But your girl carry a lot. And it's time to unfold it all and expose it all. So I hope you're ready. If you are, join us at Treasures Arc of Love. It's in the description. Before we get ready to go, if you have not already purchased your copy of the Love Walk Approach, Please do so. That's like our universal curriculum. It is still in Kindle form for now because I want everybody to just do something on one accord. Just get the ebook, just read it. So when I'm talking, you're not lost. Godly, it's a couple of other books that have been released. The Art of Forgiving Backwards and Gracing Forward. If you do not have that one, go get it. If you do not have Facing Healing, go get it. If you do not have Love as the Master Healer, go get it. All right. If you are here to be discipled, I love this so much. I feel liberty. If you are here to be discipled in this way, then go ahead and grab these books, these copies. Whenever I'm talking about them, you'll be available for them. But we're going to let my sister, my friend, close us out. She's going to say whatever she feel led to say. And Apostle Charles, you are in the chat and you have something that you may need to say, please do drop that as well. Blessings, Taisha Boo. I see you showed up. Tap in with your girl for the day. I appreciate you. Before I let you, please make sure that if you want to be a Love Walk Vision partner, that you also allow yourself to do that. We here for it. It's up there in the corner.
So I just want to make a quick distinction, and so if you are here to be discipled, but if you are here to be coached, right? I'm going to take those two things and I'm going to marry it to the statement. I might be afraid of my own life because I really don't want people to think I think I'm this. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to help y'all make a distinction right there. If you are someone who sees the light and your thought is she thinks she's this, you're here for coaching. Ooh. So she can help you get rid of that low self-esteem. Because it ain't that you think she think nothing about her, it's what you think about you.
Ooh. Well then.
So that's what I want to say. That's what I want. I want to tie that up like that. But in terms of, I think that God has spoken. I believe that whoever was supposed to hear this in this moment has heard it, and whoever is supposed to watch the replay in the future, as long as the video is, in play, they will be drawn to it. But we started off talking about friendship. We talked about leadership. We talked about evolution. We talked about standing flat-footed in the thing that God has called you to. And I know that I don't think people realize that the thing, singular, can be multiple things, just like the fruit, singular, is several things, right? So we can have a singular thing that has multiplicity to it. That's just God. That's just how he operates.
That's what it is.
That's just how he operates, and that's the one of the reasons why we love him, because he can just do whatever, and most of the time we can see the benefit, and even when we can't see, he's still doing what he knows to be the best thing in us for us. So I'm not gonna say a formal prayer in terms of some this thou and those and thus, and I'm gonna simply say,
walk it out.
God knows. He knows you, he knows me, he knows us, and he understands the outcome. So get in alignment so that when the glory flows, you're standing directly in its way.
Oh.
And it can just hit you. Like you don't even gotta, it'll just pick you on up and take you. It, and you'll be flowing, and all you had to do was get into alignment. Be honest with yourself about yourself.
Mm.
That's practical. Be honest with yourself about yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth about who you are. Tell yourself the truth about where you belong and where you don't belong. And speak to your own heart. Speak to your own heart, because you are the prophet of your house, which is your body, the temple, right? You are the prophet of your house. And the prophet of the house is who Holy Spirit syncs up with.
My mind.
So speak to your house, speak to your temple. You are the prophet of your house. And whatever you hear, wherever that takes you, wherever your feet land, know that there is love always surrounding us. There is love always flowing through us. There is love always speaking to us. There is love, because without the notion of love, without the presence of love, none of this could be.
Mm-hmm.
So we literally live in a bubble of love. We just keep trying to get out of the bubble. Stay in the bubble. Stay in the ark of God's safety. Stay in the bubble. And know that you are loved. Know that you are prayed for. Know that you are cared for. And it's okay when you're not sure of those things. One of the things that I had to teach myself was that I recognize a lie when I hear one. So when I hear things like nobody loves me, I recognize that as a lie.
Yeah.
So recognize a lie when you hear one and call it out. This is what I'm going to tell you. The enemy of your soul, which sometimes, most times is you, is always going to try to tear you down if you are not completely in sync with your ego. If you come outside of your ego, which is if you're not living the most fantastic life according to the societal norms, your ego is going to tell you that you're basically worthless, because your ego wants to see you, being, the number one artist and the number one dressmaker and the number one this and the number one that and the number one this, right? But you're not even all those things. Right. But your ego wants you to want that.
Right.
So be honest with you about who you are, what your true heart desires are. Silence the ego. Get into that soul space, that place where it's just you and God.
Mm-hmm.
And let him love on you. And let him surround you with people that love on you. And you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. In the name of Jesus, you're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Because love makes sure that you're fine. And get you some friends that'll stand in the lion's den with you. That'll help.
Yeah.
Peace and blessings. Thank you so much for having me. It's always good to be in a space where I don't have to be conventional, because I'm very unconventional.
That's how you rock.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to be in a space where I can be unconventional and know that my unconventional way is what was needed in that moment. So blessings.
That's definitely gonna be needed. You're welcome. I love you, and I appreciate you very much for being here. Listen, next time we are definitely going to try to make sure that Dr. Charles gets to join us the next time, so we can keep it up together. Okay, and really just have a moment. I am more thankful. And if you did not hear the announcement, I am going to rearrange some things again in Treasures Arc of Love to actually line up with what I originally meant for it to be, which is just our arc on the refuge. I mean, our refuge on this arc of life, ARC, where you are going through the worst of the worst, maybe, or you're at a great level in life and you just need some empowerment, encouragement. I'm just here to be me. Yeah, and if you with it, you're gonna rock with it. You're gonna see how it unfolds. And if you are here to be discipled, if your heart, if you know that, hey, I need salvation, I really want to walk this walk that Christ Joshua was talking about, but I don't really know the steps to do that. That's what the arc of love is there to show you, is there to nurture you, to hold you in the time that you need to be held. But it is a community. That means there's going to be multiple people there who need that. And so we're going to build from that place. How can we show up and live this love walk approach together? All right. That's what we're going to be teaching. Yes, I will do some evergreen coaching programs, put those up for people who need them. I will also do times where I do pop up lives or different teachings. And if you with it, tap in real quick. Um, yeah, and let's grow. Let's grow. The ark will house the anointing and all the gifts attached to it. Absolutely. That's what we're here to do. We're here to build you up from the bottom up. Most of you come just crawling in the door. Some of you feel like you'll never be able to forgive, let go, be cleansed, be free. But we here for it. Now, if you're going to come into the ark thinking that I'm just going to pacify you all the time, now we got to leave the pacify at the first stages, and then we're going to walk into deeper waters. That's what we're doing. And I feel amazing about it. All right. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for joining me today. For those of you who have not sown yet, please, by all means, pour into the vision, pour into the vessels. I love y'all so much. I appreciate every single thing that you have done. Thank you for being here in this space. This has been our Love Walk Gathering, April 2026. We walk in a little bit. Go and get your little walk in, get your few steps. Yeah, no. See if you can do this. I don't know if I can touch me yet, but we're going to work on that. All right. Love y'all so much. Many blessings.